Kita kayaknya kalau kita kan itu kalau kata Bang Alvin perbalan dari mana apa yang kita dari bulan itu dari kalau kita beri dan CPO good morning everyone. Today we are visiting for civil works and opening of bids for small value procurement for goods and services. So before we start, may I ask about to start for the
Father in heaven, thank you for bringing us together safe. As we prepare for this meeting, we ask that you prepare our hearts and lead us in your wisdom. May we set aside our own agendas and seek what you desire for us to accomplish during this meeting. Please direct our thoughts and guide our discussion. Help us to be attentive and respectful of one another's input and to work as a team. We ask that you grant us clarity of mind and lead us to helpful solutions. In Jesus' name, amen.
So once again, good morning everyone. So I now call to order the TV conference for civil works and opening of bids for goods and services under small value procurement today, August 26, 2026. For today's attendance, yours truly, Dr. Person, Mark Baranda, our back vice chairperson, Nancy Iwalasal, our back member, Mr. Alvin Director, and our back and Mr. Pastor Gonzalez. And we have also probably planning some sector in the yellow. And for our procurement, engineer Don, and engineer Nagri Lando. So, we four back members are present, so I declare that all in submit. So, our main agenda for today is the privy conference for civil work. For one project, the DPWH ready for temp proposed structure of upgrading Storey with phase 2. Barangay Poblacion, Medina, so may I ask from the guidance secretary to discuss the scope.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So for 25KK0084, HFEP 2025, First Misamis Oriental General Hospital, proposed expansion and upgrading, 6-story with basement phase 2, Barangay North Poblacion, Medina, Misamis Oriental. The appropriation is 50 million and the ABC is 49 million. The duration of the project is 230 calendar days. So this is the project site. It is 60.4 kilometers away from our office. The perspective of the project. So the project scope, we have complete structural steel framing works for the ground floor and second floor levels, and 27 SB1 structural members at third floor level. Installation of steel deck flooring and reinforced concrete slab with cement waterproofing for the ground floor level. Construction of CHB wall partitions for the emergency department at ground floor level. All mounted power transformer OISC, including all required accessories, electrical roughing ins, sanitary sewer line roughing ins, storm drainage system roughing ins, and cold water distribution line roughing ins. So these are the bill of quantities. We have construction of field office for the engineer, permits and clearances, project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization, demobilization, general scaffolding and shoring and netting, structural steel concrete, 3,000 PSI, class A, 28 days, reinforcing steel before, grade 40 and grade 60, formworks and false works, CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 150 mm, waterproofing cement base, metal deck panel, railing, metal structure accessories, steel plates, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, cold water lines, conveyance boxes and fittings, all mounted power transformer OISC with complete accessories, single or three-phase, pole type or platform, structural steel furnish, and erected grade 36. So these are the minimum equipment requirement. We have one truck-mounted crane, standard lattice boom, all models 246 HP, one welding machine, gas or diesel driven, 70 HP, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one bar cutter, 25 mm maximum rebar, diameter, grade 40, single phase, one bar bender, 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, 3-phase, and one welding machine, gas or diesel driven, 48 HP. So that will be awesome.
Thank you, Carlos. So, in this clarification, especially for our viewers, with that, so we can proceed with the document. The technical explanation of the problem.
Procurement of civil works. Documents comprising the bid, technical and financial components. For the eligibility requirements, bidders are required to submit the following documents. First, a village certificate of registration under plan membership. Second, a statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Third, a statement of the bidders' single largest completed contract or SLCC. Fourth, the bidders' computation of the net financial contract capacity or NFCC. Finally, for joint ventures, a joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with Republic Act number 4566. Otherwise known as the contractor's license law and its implementing rules and regulations. Please be reminded that the failure of the bidder to update their Field-Check certificate of registration with the current and updated supporting documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the bidder's certificate. For the single largest completed contract or SLCC, the bidder must complete a contract similar to the project being bid. The value of the SLCC, adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices, must be at least 50% of the approved budget for the contract to be bid. However, contractors under small A and small D categories who do not have similar experience may still be allowed to bid, provided that the cost of the contract does not exceed the allowable range of contract cost of their registration, in accordance with PCAP guidelines. Please note that the SLCC must be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor. Alternatively, a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or a similar performance and monitoring system may be submitted. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent supporting document shall be required. For the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, the bidder's computed NFCC must be at least equal to the approved budget for the contract to be bid. The NFCC is calculated using the prescribed formula as shown. The values of the current assets and current liabilities of domestic bidders shall be based on their latest audited financial statements. Joint ventures may participate in the bidding process, provided that the primary purpose of each member is similar or related to the requirements of the project. Each member of the joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the procuring entity in case of any breach or failure to comply with the project requirements. For the submission and receipt of bids, each bid shall consist of two components, the technical component and the financial component. These components must be placed in separate sealed envelopes and submitted simultaneously. Bids shall be received by the Bids and Awards Committee, or BAC, on the date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid. The first bid envelope shall contain the technical documents, which must include at the least a PhilJEP certificate of registration under platinum membership, B, PCAP license and registration in the case of a joint venture, C, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, D, statement of the single largest completed contract, or SLCC, E, computation of the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, F, joint venture agreement if applicable, and G, bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. H, project requirements, which shall include the following. 1, the organizational chart for the procurement project to be bid. 2, the list of contractors' personnel. For example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the project, along with their complete qualifications and experience. 3, the list of contractors' major equipment units, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. 4, omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 54.3 of this IRR. 5, latest general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for corporations. The following forms are for your reference. For bid security, all bids under competitive procurement methods must be accompanied by bid security. The bid security serves as a guarantee that the bidder will enter into a contract if awarded the project. The bidder shall submit either a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC, according to the following schedule. Cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, 2% of the ABC, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a bank, 5% of the ABC, surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company, 5% of the ABC. The omnibus sworn statement must be executed by the bidder or by its duly authorized representative. It should contain the requirements outlined in section 54.3 of the implementing rules and regulations of RA 12,009, contractors' key personnel. The key personnel should meet the following number of years' work experience. The experience means total years of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering consultancy service. Include the tax identification number or TIN of the key personnel. Compliance to DEO. 98 series of 2016. Revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineer, and to include the contact number of the materials engineer. Compliance to DEO. 140 series of 2024. Guidelines in the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineer. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1, the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and 2, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office, pursuant to Department Order Number 9, Series 2012. The proposed key personnel and replacement must be named in the bidding document. The following are the key personnel required. 1 project manager with 5 years of general experience and 5 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The second is 1 project engineer with 3 years of general experience, 3 years of relevant, and is a DPWH accredited project engineer. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, including their project engineer certificate. The third personnel is one materials engineer who is a DPWH accredited materials engineer. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their materials engineer certificate. The fourth personnel is one foreman who has 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached. The fifth personnel is one safety officer 2, with 5 years of general experience and 3 years of relevant experience. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their certificate of training issued by Dole. The last personnel is one full-time health personnel. A valid and updated government issued ID with 3 signatures should be attached, as well as their certificate of training. For contractors' major equipment units, the contractor must provide proofs of ownership or other supporting documents for equipment that is owned, leased, or under purchase agreements. For leased or purchased equipment, a certificate of availability from the lessor or vendor must be submitted for the duration of the contract. Proofs of ownership and supporting documents must specify model and year, capacity, performance, or size, plate number, motor number, body number, chassis serial number, engine serial number, specific location and condition of the equipment. These requirements are in accordance with Department Order 58, Series of 2012. For contractors' minimum materials testing equipment, refer to Department Order 11, Series of 2017 of the required equipment. The second bid envelope shall contain the following financial documents: original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, original duly signed bid prices and a bill of quantities, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid. Cash flow by quote. Submission and receipt of bids. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. The address for receipt of bids submitted manually is Conference Room, 3rd floor, DPWH MOFDEO, Barangay 26, Bigo City, Misamis Oriental. For electronic submission, electronic bids _Misamis Oriental 1 at tpwh.gov.ph. Modification of bids. Bidders may modify their bid before the deadline for the receipt of bids. In case of modification, bidders shall not be allowed to retrieve their original bid, but shall only be allowed to send another bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to their original bid, and marked as modification and stamped received by the back. Withdrawal of bids. Bidders, through a letter, may withdraw their bids or express their intention not to participate in bidding before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. They shall no longer be allowed to submit another bid for the same contract, either directly or indirectly. Withdrawal of bids after the deadline shall be subject to appropriate sanctions. The financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid process. The back shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. Completeness. No price and required item due to the government, RA 12,009. Indicating a 0 or a dash free to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, EOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid prices in figures versus words prevail. Total price per item versus unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item prevails. Stated total price versus actual sum of prices of component items. Actual sum of prices of component items prevails. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus unit cost in VOQ. Unit cost in VOQ prevails. Amount in price schedule versus amount in bid form. Amount in bid form prevails. Post qualification. Legal requirements. Licenses, certificates, permits, agreements, and non-inclusion in blacklist. Technical requirements. Key personnel, minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied. availability and commitment of major construction equipment and materials laboratory equipment, performance in ongoing government and private contracts, negative slippage of at least 15% in any project, or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. Financial requirements. Bid. Required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated on the bidding documents, when applicable. NFCC, within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the back that the bidder has the LCB, NIL, MAB, or HRB, the bidder shall submit the following. All the eligibility documents supporting its filled certificate of registration, platinum membership, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. The BAC shall recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB after the post-qualification process has been completed. Within 10 calendar days from receipt by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following conditions should be complied before the contract may be awarded. Submission of the following documents by the winning bidder. Valid JVA if applicable, a valid PCAB license and registration for the type and cost of the procurement project to be bid for foreign bidders in infrastructure projects, when the treaty or international or executive agreement expressly allows submission of such license and registration as a precondition to the notice of award, or the SEC certificate of registration of the foreign corporation, or the SEC certificate of registration of the foreign consulting firm, or the authority or license from the appropriate government agency or professional regulatory body of foreign professionals engaging in the practice of regulated professions and allied professions, where applicable. Posting of performance security by the winning bidder in accordance with section 68 of this IRR. Signing of the contract by the parties. Common errors in the submission of bids. Failure to submit an original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission, indicating the name of the project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledge equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bids. Failure to submit supporting documents, such as the certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, if equipment pledge is to be leased or purchased. Negative slippage in the ongoing projects, negative 15% or more, or negative 10% in each of the 2 or more ongoing projects, unsatisfactory CPS rate, incomplete pages of bid documents, technical and financial. Authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. Single proprietor. Signatory should be the owner, proprietor only. Corporation cooperative. Board secretary's certificate and board resolution. Joint venture resolution agreement. Partnership, as indicated in the articles of partnership.
Mr. Chair, for the additional requirements to be submitted to the government. The projects are also the there are technical documents. And as shown, this is part of the compliance and none of the routine amendments. So should be more.
Please, any clarification that there's no clarification of with the automotive or we have when we are 2026 last year 155. The price everybody to pay part, we for the repair maintenance of the Hilux, we separate number DP1184. For Hilux, we will have 157. The price everybody to pay part, we for the repair maintenance of the Isuzu Dmax Year Model. We page number 10168. There is a delivery number 7, that's 1.8. Supply and delivery spare parts, we for the repair maintenance of Nissan Navara. There is a sorry page number that 7121 19101. Report is a delivery number 7, that's 07, that's 160. Supply and delivery spare parts, we for the repair maintenance of the Hilux, we February page number of shop 4706. 2026, that's 07, that's 167. Supply and delivery spare parts, we for the repair maintenance of Nissan Navara, we February page number of that's 7121, that's 151. The 6 is a delivery that's 768. Supply and delivery spare parts, we for the repair maintenance of the Hilux model 2016 with February page number 1910083. 7, 2026, that's 769. The price and delivery spare parts, we for the repair maintenance of the Hilux Year Model 2018, February page number of 8791, that's 188, that's 15100. 8 is 2022, that's 170. The price and delivery spare parts, we use for the repair and maintenance of the Hilux Year Model 2018 with the price page number of 8791. That's 188, that's 15100. 9, it's 172. This line delivery spare parts, used for the repair maintenance of Isuzu Dmax. We just page number of next 995. The last is 2023, that's 07, that's 150. The price delivery of to be used by the maintenance. So may I ask about this to operate it now? What will benefit that the repair that 155? and 2026-07-157, and 2026-07-158, to the donation by Engineer Nancy, staff. For 2026-06-166, sorry, 2026-07-166, 2026-07-167, and 2026-07-168, to be donated by Engineer Nancy. And for the remaining 2026-07-169, 170, 174, and 136, to the donation by
Parts to be used for the repair maintenance of Nissan Navara with temporary plate number GAB 7121151001. RFQ submitted by Medjoy Distribution. There are RFQs need to be written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days, and brand names VIC, Nissan, and Bendix. They have attached herewith the following documents: valid Hilux registration certificate, containing membership of pages, valid until December 16, 2026. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI registration certificate expiry date March 31, 2031, and tax clearance expiry date September 10, 2026. Updated annual ITR and omnibus warrant statement is not applicable since the EBC is below 50,000. Their bid amount is 13,250 pesos only. Their bid amount is 13,250 pesos only. Since they have submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is below the approved budget ceiling for this procurement, major distribution passed.
Mr. Chair, for PR number 2026-07-166, supply and delivery of spare parts to be used for the repair and maintenance of Toyota Hilux with temporary plate number ZAF 4706. RFQ submitted by Marilyn Auto Parts. They have submitted duly accomplished RFQ form. All entries are legibly written. Also, they have submitted valid project registration certificate valid until July 27, 2027. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. A DTI certificate number 1937503 with expiration date on August 7, 2030. A valid tax clearance with expiration date on June 10, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus warrant statement are not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. With a bid amount of 4,600 pesos only. I repeat, with a bid amount of 4,600 pesos only. Since they have submitted the required documents and their bid amount is below the ABC for this procurement, Brgy Auto Parts rating is passed. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Well, PR number 2026-169, submitted by Malati Auto Park. Malati Auto Park submitted valid initially certificate, valid until July 27, 2027. With DPI certificate number 190-7503, with valid until August 7, 2030. Mayor Toby, valid until December 31, 2026. Tax clearance, June 10, 2027, and outer financial statement, date of filing on May 15, 2022. All entries also are legally written with 30 calendar days to be paid period, with 60 days of liability. Money on the part offer the bid amount of 16,100. 16,100. Money on the part submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is less than the ABC. Money on the part for and for PR number 2026-07, that's one number 2, nominated by Brgy General Merchandise. Breakdown of the day submitted valid with table certificate. Valid until November 24, 2026. We declare certificate number 1328918 valid until December 2029. Mayor permit valid until November 1, 2026. Truck clearance valid until January 15, 2027. Without the financial statement, date of filing April 24, 2025. All entries shall be reviewed with 20 calendar days delivery period and 60 calendar days price validity. And for the October statement, it's not applicable if the EBC is less than 50,000. Breakdown of the dice offered will be the amount of 26,800. 26,800. We breakdown of the dice we have only required document and the bid amount that we will give breakdown of the dice. And also we are number 2026 170 submitted by Meter Distribution. Meter Distribution submitted valid presentation to be valid December 16, 2026. We did the number 2808208. Valid until March 31, 2031, prepared for which valid until December 31, 2026. Tax clearance of November 10, 2023. Our document. Also, all entries are completed. The 30 calendar day delivery period and 60 calendar day price value. And after the other transition, in the applicable in the ABC, that's less than 50,000. Meter distribution submitted with amount of 13,120. And we 102 by document. And the ABB and the bid amount that the ABC meter distribution offered management already. And for we are number 2026, the still 7.136. Submitted by Isuzu Target Commercial. Isuzu Target Commercial submitted valid will be solicitation valid until April 19, 2027. We DCI certificate number 21-1946 valid until January 29, 2030. Payment permit valid until September 21, 2026. Tax clearance valid until March 10, 2027. Audited financial statement date of filing on April 18, 2026. Involved target of commercial, all entries are delivered with 30 calendar day delivery period and 60 calendar days price validity. Involved target commercial over the 79,330, which is more than 50,000, authorized by Victoria Mabaka. No target commercial submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is less than the ABC. No target commercial.
Mr. Chair, for the same PR number 2026-07-166, RFQ submitted by Medjoy Distribution. They have submitted accomplished RFQ form. All entries are legibly written. indicating a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days. Also, they have submitted valid field registration certificate in Calendar membership all three pages with the validity until December 16, 2026. A valid mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. A valid DTI certificate with registration number 2808208 valid until March 31, 2031. Valid tax clearance valid until September 10, 2026. Updated annual ITR and omnibus form statement are not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. Major distribution offered bid in the amount of 4,640 pesos only. I repeat, 4,640 pesos only. Since they've submitted the required document and the bid amount is below the approved budget ceiling for this procurement, major distribution pass. Mr. Chair, for PR number 2026-07-168, supply and delivery of spare parts to be used for the repair and maintenance of Toyota Hilux Year Model 2016 with temporary plate number 151008-B. RFQ submitted by Maranding Auto Parts. They have submitted accomplished RFQ form. All entries are legally written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days. Also, they have submitted valid field registration certificate with validity until July 27, 2027. Valid mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. A valid DCI certificate with expiration date of August 7, 2030. A valid tax clearance with expiration date of June 10, 2027. Also, updated annual ITR and omnibus form statement is not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. Maranding Auto Parts offered the bid amount of 11,300 pesos only. I repeat, with their bid amount of 11,300 pesos only. Since they have submitted the required document and the bid amount is below the approved budget ceiling for this procurement, Maranding Auto Parts overall rating is passed. For another PR number 2026-07-167, supply and delivery of spare parts to be used for the repair and maintenance of Nissan Navara with temporary plate number GAB-7121-151001. RFQ submitted by Medjoy Distribution. They have submitted accomplished RFQ form. All entries are legally written. Also, they have submitted valid field registration certificate, the membership all three pages, valid until December 16, 2026. A valid mayor's permit, valid until December 31, 2026. A valid DTI certificate with a validity until March 31, 2031. A valid tax clearance with validity until September 10, 2026. Updated annual ITR and omnibus form statement is not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. Major distribution offered a bid amount of 24,500 pesos only. I repeat, with their bid amount of 24,500 pesos only. Since their bid amount is below the approved budget ceiling for this procurement, major distribution overall rating is passed. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, to receive your number 2026-07-158, RFQ submitted by Burns General Merchandise. There are refused legibility ten, indicating a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days. We have attached clearly the following documents: valid English registration certificate, patent membership, all three pages valid until November 24, 2026. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI registration certificate expiry date December 20, 2029. And tax clearance valid until January 16, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus year statement is not applicable since ABC is below 50,000. Their bid amount is 13,300 pesos only. Their bid amount is 13,300 pesos only. Since they've submitted all the required documents and their bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, Burns General Merchandise has. For PR number 2026-07-157, the planned delivery of spare parts to be used for the repair and maintenance of Isuzu Dmax Year Model 2015, plate number 1016068, are reviews submitted by Maradlink Auto Parts. There are reviews legibly written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days, and brand names Amaron and Benedix. They have attached the following documents: valid pages registration certificate and cardinal membership, all three pages, valid until July 27, 2027. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI registration certificate valid until August 7, 2030. And tax clearance validity until June 10, 2027. Their bid amount is 39,920 pesos only. Their bid amount is 39,920 pesos only. Since they've submitted all the required documents and their bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, Maradlink Auto Parts passed. For PR number 2026-07-155, supply and delivery of spare parts to be used for the repair and maintenance of Toyota Hilux with temporary plate number DP11849. Quotation submitted by Maradlink Auto Parts. There are refused legibly written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days, and brand names Toyota and Bendex. They have submitted herewith the following documents: valid field registration certificate in platinum membership, all three pages, valid until July 27, 2027. Mayor's permit, valid until December 31, 2026. BTI registration certificate, valid until August 7, 2030. And tax clearance, valid until June 10, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus year statement is not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. Their bid amount is 5,000 pesos only. Their bid amount is 5,000 pesos only. Since they have submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, Maradlink Auto Parts passed. That's all the thing.
For PR, for PR number 2026-07-169, submitted by Burns General Merchandise. Burns General Merchandise submitted valid registration certificate, valid until November 24, 2026. Certificate number 1648918, valid until December 20, 2029. Mayor's permit, valid until December 31, 2023. Tax clearance, valid until January 16, 2027. Audited member statement dated filing on April 24, 2025. Also, all entries are reviewed with 30 calendar review and 60 calendar price of validity. And my statement is not applicable since the ABC is less than 50,000. Burns Merchandise with a bid amount of 16,250 pesos. 16,250 pesos. If Burns Merchandise submitted all the documents and the bid amount is less than the ABC, overall pass. For number 2026-07, 170, submitted by Marathon Auto Parts. Marathon Auto Parts submitted valid with station 8, valid until July 27, 2027. With DTI certificate number 1837543 and mail certificate valid until December 31, 2023. Tax clearance on July 2027 and audited financial statement May 15, 20. And the ongoing statements that applicable in the ADP that 50,000. The all FBs are deleted and 30 calendar days to be reviewed and 60 calendar days price. Maraming autocars offered in the amount of 13,130 pesos. 13,130 pesos. Since maraming autocars submitted all the required documents and the amount is less than the ADC overall rating. For 2026, that's 07-172. Also submitted by Mandy Auto Parts. As mentioned earlier, Mandy Auto Parts passed all the required documents for the previous certificate and all entries are deleted. In the delivery period is 35 days, with price of 55 days. And the ABC is less than 50,000, so all the treatment is not applicable. One of the other parts of the amount for year number 2026 to 26,700. And repeat 26,700. One of the other parts over. For 2026 to 7,136 submitted by AGS General Merchandise. AGS General Merchandise submitted by regime to the state of security, red administration, and with the 30 calendar days delivery to you and all entries are deleted, and then 60 calendar days price 150. And almost the treatment is also attached. ABS General Merchandise properly with amount of 78,980. General Merchandise submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is less than ADP overall rating.
Mr. Chair, for PR number 2026-07-166. RFQ submitted by Burns General Merchandise. We have submitted Julia Conclage RFQ form, all entries are legibly written. Also, they have submitted valid project registration certificate with validity until November 24, 2026. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI certificate number with expiry date until December 20, 2029. A valid tax clearance with expiry date until January 16, 2027. Updated annual ITR and individual statement. That applicable since the AGC is below 50,000. with a bid amount of 4,660 pesos only. I repeat, with a bid amount of 4,660 pesos only. Since they have submitted the required document and the bid amount is below the ABC for this procurement, Burns General Merchandise overall rating is pass. For PR number 2026-07-168, RFQ submitted by Medjoy Distribution. They have submitted a published RFQ form. All entries are legibly written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60. Valid qualification certificate, valid membership of 3 pages. 2026. A DTI certificate number 1937503 with expiration date until August 7, 2030. A valid tax clearance with expiration date until June 10, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus warrant statement are not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. With a bid amount of 24,540 pesos. So 50,000. Their bid amount 180 pesos only. Their bid amount is 13,180 pesos only. Since they've submitted all the required documents and their bid amount is below the budget ceiling, Marathing Auto Parts passed. For PR number 2026-07-157, RFQ submitted by Medjoy Distribution. There are RFQs which will be written indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days, and brand names Motolite, Good Rabica, and Pentex. The attached herewith the following documents: valid registration certificate, valid until December 16, 2026. Nurse permit valid until December 31, 2026. PTI registration certificate valid until March 31, 2031, and tax clearance validity until September 10, 2026. Updated annual ITR and omnibus word statement is not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. Their bid amount is 40,044 pesos only. Their bid amount is 40,044 pesos only. Since they have submitted all the required documents and their bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, major distribution passed. For PR number 2026-07-155, RFQ submitted by Brgy General Merchandise. They have indicated a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days. All interest is linked to distributed, and they have attached newly the following documents: valid fuel jet registration certificate, valid until November 24, 2026. Mayor's permit, valid until December 31, 2026. DPI registration certificate, valid until December 20, 2029, and tax clearance valid until January 16, 2027. Their bid amount is 5,670 pesos only. Their bid amount is 5,670 pesos only. Since Brgy General Merchandise submitted all the required documents and the bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, their overall rating is passed. That's all, Mr. Chair.
For PR number 23-07-159, submitted by major distribution. Major distribution submitted valid period to the certificate, and all entries are delivered with a delivery period of 30 calendar days and price validity of 60 calendar days. And the omnibus for statement is not applicable. This is the ABC that the 50,000. Major distribution submit offered with the bid amount of 60,200. 16,200. The major distribution overall rating passed. For 2026-07-170, submitted by Brgy General Merchandise. Brgy General Merchandise submitted all the required documents, and that we valid will be related to the certificate. So, as mentioned earlier, some Brgy General Merchandise, all the required documents that we give passed or valid, and all entries are deleted with a delivery period of 30 calendar days and 60 calendar days price validity. Brgy General Merchandise offered with a bid amount of 13,250. 13,250. Brgy General Merchandise submitted all the required documents and the amount is left from the ABC. No, Brgy General Merchandise. Also for 2026, that's all entries are reading the event with 30 calendar days delivery period with price validity of 60 calendar days. And the certificate is valid. The omnibus was statement at that. Brgy General Merchandise offered with a bid amount of 79,167 pesos and 50 centavos. Then pitch with 9,167,000 pesos and 50 centavos. The Brgy General Merchandise overall rating. And last is 2026-07-172, submitted by major distributor. Major distributor submitted valid period to the sale of certificate and all entries are deleted with 30 calendar days delivery period and price validity 50 calendar days. And for the overall treatments, not applicable, is ABC 70,000. Middle Distribution offered with a bid amount of 26,760. 26,760. Middle Distribution Oriental.
Mr. Chair, for PI number 2026-07-168, RFQ submitted by Burns General Merchandise. They have submitted a published RFQ period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days with a brand name Toyota. Also, they have submitted valid produce registration certificate with validity until November 24, 2026. Mayor's permit with validity until December 31, 2026. A DTI certificate valid until December 20, 2029. Valid tax clearance with expiration date until January 16, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus warrant statement are not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. With a bid amount of 11,360 pesos only. I repeat, with a bid amount of 11,360 pesos only. Since they have submitted the required documents and their bid amount is below the ABC for this procurement, Burns General Merchandise overall rating is passed. For PR number 2026-07-167, RFQ submitted by Burns General Merchandise. They have submitted a accomplished RFQ. All entries are legibly written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days and price validity of 60 days. Also, they have submitted valid produce registration certificate in platinum membership alter pages, valid until November 24, 2026. Mayor's permit with expiration date until December 31, 2026. Valid tax clearance with expiration date until January 16, 2027. Updated annual ITR and omnibus warrant statement are not applicable since the ABC is below 50,000. With a bid amount of 24,520 pesos only. I repeat, with a bid amount of 24,520 pesos only. Since they have submitted the required document and the bid amount is below the ABC for this procurement, Burns General Merchandise overall rating is passed. That's all, Mr. Chair.
We are number 2026-07-155. RFQ submitted by Major Distribution. There are RFQs eligibility temp indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days. All the required documents was attached and all the documents is valid. And their bid amount is 5,040 pesos only. Their bid amount is 5,040 pesos only. Since they've submitted all the required documents and all their documents is valid and their bid amount is below the budget ceiling for this procurement, Major Distribution passed. For PR number 2026-07-157, RFQ submitted by Burns General Merchandise. Their RFQ, all entries is legibly written, indicating a delivery period of 30 days, price validity of 60 days, and brand names Motolite, Goodrabica, and Bendex. They have attached all the required documents and their documents are all valid. Their bid amount is 40,118 pesos only. Their bid amount is 40,118 pesos only. Since they have submitted all the required documents and all their documents are valid, and their bid amount is below the budget, below the approved budget ceiling for this procurement, Burns General Merchandise passed. That's all, Mr. Chair.
So all the company that other more value improvement. Obviously, the other will be the include the taking of completed and operational error. After the evaluation, the weight will be wrapped and the middle will the lowest considered will be subject to qualification. And we will include the funding after completion of this decision. This will not be the previous substantive from the other will be for the only close or adult or any clarification of the way. That is also our to do it now also. This was the for the matter of big stuff. Any more than that. Maybe then
Mr. Chair, I move for the adjournment for the pre-bid conference for civil works and opening of bids, small value procurement for goods and services dated August 26, 2026.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
it's for the secretary to take the that we never spend the only occasion for them to the criticize over the military. Any people will monitor and